Hey everyone, it's Antonette of Montalvo International. I just want to jump on really quickly and share a little bit of revelation that the Lord was sharing with me actually on yesterday, right after or in the middle of our prayer service at our church. And there were just a variety of words that if you've kept up with some of the shorts or reels, depending on if you follow on Instagram or on YouTube, that the Lord has had me releasing, a lot of it has been surrounding the birthing process, and that he's saying this is the crowning season, and very much like the crowning stage when a baby is getting ready to be born, which also is a play on words with the crown, God placing a crown upon your head, just like he did for Esther. That crowning season is a very heavy season. It's a very weighty season. It's a very intense season where God is pushing you through a threshold that it may feel like, Lord, I cannot be squeezed anymore. I cannot be squeezed anymore. But he's saying push through to victory. And so I encourage you to go back and listen to Victor's Crown, which I had placed in the stories of our Instagram page, that when the Lord first had me actually release that word of Victor's Crown, it was 9 months ago, which I wasn't paying attention to that when he started bringing that word back up to me and talking about crowning and birthing process and just going along with the other words that he's more recently had me release. And I had no idea, but God keeps track of everything. So anyway, I say all that to say that for the purposes of this video, one particular thing that the Lord kept highlighting was that he wants to redeem the birthing process. Redeem the birthing process. Now, obviously, this can be very much literal for those who may have gone through traumatic birthing processes. And it's like, Lord, if you're calling me to have more children, if you're calling me to bear children, or even go through maybe an adoption process or anything that requires you to birth out children in some way, shape, or form, whether spiritually, metaphorically, physically, and it may have felt traumatic, he is saying he is redeeming that time. The great physician is in the room, and he is there to redeem the traumatic birthing seasons that you may have experienced. And then he also said that this goes along with, from a spiritual standpoint, where those who have been in the process of birthing visions, maybe you started something new and it seemed like it got completely squashed or aborted, not to be insensitive, but that's just the terminology that he was saying. It just didn't come through to completion. And the Lord is saying that he is redeeming that. He's redeeming that birthing process. He's redeeming those things that he has called you to birth. And then he was also talking about turning around. And the word he kept giving me was about face. I kept hearing that in the spirit, about face, about face. And it's actually a military term, and I actually had to confirm this with my father, who was in the military, and he was in the Navy for many years. And about face is literally when you take a 180-degree turn, or you turn around and go the other direction. And so he was saying about face, he's turning around. And he kept saying he's turning around situations, he's turning around. And so when something is redeemed, he may have to turn the entire thing around. Even in that metaphor example of the birthing process, some of you may have felt like you're in a breech birth position where it feels like it's just been difficult labor, you've been pushing, but the crown is not in the place it should be. And for those who may not be familiar with pregnancy and the birthing process, when a baby is breech, it is not in the head down position to be able to push out. The most suitable way for a baby that it's not going to cause as much pain, although it could still be difficult, but is the head down position. But when a baby is breech, when it's either going feet first or it's on its side, that can cause other complications, or it can be more difficult. And even just to have a safe and natural birth, not saying that God can't turn those things around, but even especially in that moment, both spiritually and even physically, he may be saying for those of you, but spiritually specifically, he was talking about that he's turning things around. He's putting things in that about face position. He's putting things in that 180-degree turnaround. That is the safest position. So when he's making that about face turn, he's getting ready to turn things around in your favor so that you will be redeemed in the process, and the things that he's had you go through, allowed you to go through, as well as the things that the enemy has just tried to throw your way to try to just discourage you. And so be encouraged in this day. Be encouraged that it's crowning season. He's redeeming the birthing process, and he is turning things around. Things are about to make an about face turnaround so that you will safely deliver what he is calling you to deliver, and you will walk into the promised lands that he has set for you, for his glory, for his name, in Jesus' name. Be blessed.